lovely ladies up here to join me. You don't think you're going to hide in the back? Yeah? Come on. You're the guinea pigs. You're the guinea pigs. You're the guinea pigs. Of course. They thought they'd get out of it. Very This is important. This is actually important that they're in this roughly the same position that they would be performing in. Okay. Yeah. So this is a little bit of an experiment. It's a Feldenkrais concert. So how many people have no idea what Feldenkrais is? Never heard of it. Good luck. Yeah.
Brace yourself.
So the Greeks, Socrates and the rest, they said, know thyself. And this festival is celebrating the translation, the Dutch translation of which Marie Astrid has done, of my book, Skeletal Wisdom. Mind and body reunited in the Feldenkrais method, the inner workings of human movement. Yeah? So, is Feldenkrais brainwashing? No, but it's teaching the motor cortex, a part of the brain that we normally don't think about. You know, when I reach for a glass of water, I never go, oh yeah, I'm going to flex my biceps, extend my triceps, do the superficial flexors here and the deep flexors here and there. I've got. If anybody had to do all that, it would go nuts in 2 seconds. But the motor cortex is making thousands of these decisions constantly. That's probably why we have a brain 3 times larger than all the other primates. Yep. So, how does Feldenkrais work? We use micro movements to sense more accurately with greater precision how our skeleton is organized. Skeleton is, all the bones are a set of levers. Levers don't work if they can't move. If the thing is rusty, it doesn't work. It's got to be able to move. So now we're going to go through and we're going to discover through sensation whether our brain can unlock certain muscles to improve how certain levers move. And the function of this lesson is for you to be able to listen differently, hopefully better, to the second part of the concert, and for the musicians to listen better, but also to perhaps play better with a different use of self. So it's an experiment. So I'm very happy to be doing this. It's a wonderful experiment, and thank you all for partaking in it. So, would you please, as you're sitting there, you feel that your back is leaning against the chair back. And now there are 12 vertebrae in the back which have ribs attached to them. Now there's 5 vertebrae down below which have no ribs. Then there's 7 vertebrae in the neck. Now probably the 7 vertebrae of the neck are not touching the chair back. But can you feel of all those lower vertebrae I mentioned, which one is pressing the chair back? Do they all press equally? Can you not even tell? Or just tune in, and even the effort of trying to feel which part of my back really touches the chair back. Is it the lowest part? Is it a middle part? Is it a part up here somewhere between the shoulder blades? Okay, so keeping track of that feeling, also feel the 2 sits bones. Now, there are the 2 sits bones, those 2 bones right down in a part of your, which I'm too polite to mention in mixed company. But they're definitely on the chair. Do they touch equally? Or is there a little bit more weight on the left sits bone, or a little more weight on the right sits bone? And now, keep track of those 2 sits bones because they're kind of like eggs, and they kind of if you were to lean forward in the chair, that your 2 sits bones would go like that. You would feel the change in the point of contact. So now do that. Please come forward. And feel, oh, now I'm on the front part of my sit bones. Now go back 1 millimeter. Oh, now I'm a little bit further on this back of the sit bone, but still in front. And go back a little farther. And you feel the sit bone is changing, that it's rocking on the chair. And every millimeter your body moves forward or back, the sit bones change. Yeah, and then you come all the way back here. And now lean forward again. And so use this leaning forward and going back to feel the two sits bones. It's like they're drawing a line on the chair. And now, as you do it, which sits bone draws a line more clearly? The left one or the right one? No, actually come forward. Actually come forward. That's it. So your back gets away from the chair. And then your back comes back in contact with the chair. And then the back gets away from the chair. And your sits bones are drawing a line. Okay? Now, did you notice everybody's head came forward, everybody's head came back? What if I could rock forward, but leave the head where it is? And now rock back, but leave the head where it is. Okay? You should try that a few times, and you feel. So, yeah. So try the first one again. In the first one, the back, none of the spine is moving. The spine is like a solid block. Only the sits bones are rocking. But now, oh my God, the spine extends. The spine flexes. So feel which part of my spine gets more straight? Which part of my spine gets rounder? The lower part, the middle part, the upper part. Okay. And by the way, do you feel the sits bones drawing their lines better when the spine is flexing and extending, or is it you feel it better when it's just a solid block moving twice? Interesting questions, right? Come back, take a rest. And notice, as you're resting, is the same part of your back touching the chair back? Or is it some different part? Higher or lower? Some people will be higher, some people will be lower, some people will be the same. Some people will be like, I can't tell. Don't worry. If you can't tell, I was like that when I started pelvic rights, but if you keep trying, the senses, they tune in. You get better and better at it. So it seems kind of strange because Feldenkrais said the mind-body split does not exist. There's like the brain and the body. That's one thing. But we would seem to be making a distinction because my mind is observing my sensations. Doesn't that make a split? Well, no. It's by the mind observing these sensations, it's actually creating a richer unity, a richer cooperation between the parts, this complex thing known as human consciousness. So now, leave your back on the chair back. Don't come forward. But by rocking the pelvis, I can put a higher vertebra on the chair back. By rocking the pelvis, I can put a lower vertebra on the chair back. So now you try and figure out, if I'm sort of bent over like this, there's a very low vertebra on the chair back. But if I rock the pelvis this way, rock the pelvis forward while the head is going back, then a higher vertebra is on the chair back. Oh, and I can put a higher vertebra on the chair. Oh, I can put a higher vertebra on the chair. And you can actually put almost any one of your vertebrae on the chair back. So rock the pelvis to put a lower vertebra. If you can't feel the vertebra, it's just that part of the back. It's the whole back. It's the spine and the ribs. Okay, and then rock a little this way, but leave the back on the chair. Oh my God, my breathing just changed. Even though I've done this lesson many times, somehow the muscles are letting go of the spine so that the bones contact with the chair back improves the perception of that contact. Keep rocking the pelvis one way to put a lower vertebra on the chair, or rock the pelvis the other way to put a higher vertebra on the chair. Good. And then just come back to whatever neutral and take a rest. And notice, do you feel different sitting in the chair? Do you feel different sitting in the chair? Now, what I was composing this awareness through movement lesson while they were playing. And one thing I noticed was sometimes they would just start the piece, and the way they started the piece, I would just, my breath, just a lovely breath would come. So now, if you don't try to take a big, excuse me. Canadian dies giving Feldenkrais lesson. Don't worry. There's no insurance, it can't happen. So, if you just imagine they're starting some piece, oh, I took a breath. How does that change the back, the contact with the chair? Maybe I go a little to one side, go to the other side. Maybe I turn. Maybe I go a little lower. Or maybe my contact is a little higher. And how does it change on the elbow? Okay? Good. So, these are all variations on a lesson called the first cardinal direction of movement, the three cardinal directions of movement in sitting. So the first one is extension and flexion. Extension and flexion. Bending and unbending of the spine. That's cardinal direction number one. The second cardinal direction is side bending. So let's say, oh, you love the music so much, your head starts to go over here. Yeah? And so the head goes to the right, and the weight is on the right sits bone. Oh, now you love it. And you notice that your back, your spine is actually scraping the back of the chair. You see, the spine is scratching the back of the chair. So if you do it like this, I'm going left and I'm talking backwards. Okay. If I'm going right, then my spine goes. So the upper spine is scraping the chair more than the lower spine, right? The lower spine is not moving that much side to side, but the upper side is moving a lot side to side. Okay? That's right. Now, so what if my head went that way, but my weight went this way? That's it. And then, so the left ear goes to the left shoulder, but the weight goes on the right. And the right ear goes to the right shoulder, but the weight goes on. No, you're leaning. You see now, look, I don't lean. I stay in the middle. But it's backwards. It's like, I'm going the wrong way. You see, that your head's going that way, but the weight should be over there. That's it. And now come back. And now the head's going to go that way, but the weight is going to go this way. That's weight that way. The other sits bone. Your other right sits bone. That one over there. That's right.
It's hard. I find it still hard.
That's it. Okay, so, and if you do that, you'll notice a lower part of your back is scraping the chair back. See, if I do it this way, up between my shoulder blades is going side to side. But now, down around my belly button is going side to side, is it not? Can you feel the spine actually rubbing the chair back? So, and now put your spine a little bit more on the chair back. Press your spine, the lower spine, and rub it. Yeah. So like I'm sort of bent forward. I'm rounded, so that I can really get my lower spine on the chair back. And then this way, and then this way. You're leaning. You're going this. Come back to the middle. Okay, everybody come back to the middle. I'm gonna say, when I say left, you do right.
Okay.
When I say left, you do left. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, the right ear goes to the right shoulder and the weight goes left. Good. Now the left ear goes to the left shoulder and the weight goes right. And you do that and you rub the back of the chair with your lower back. That's it. And now straighten up a little bit, so now you're rubbing the middle of the chair back with your middle back. Oh. And now lean all the way back, and this one we go back to, this is the easy one for everybody. You lean over here. So you see, we've got 3 different ways of rubbing the chair back. One was the lower back, one was the middle back, one was the upper back. Okay? I'm going way too fast now, but there's going to be a recording of this, so you can actually press pause if you ever want to do this again. This is, notice, are you sitting differently in your chair? Oh, could you please put the feet underneath your knees? That's it. Yeah, if the feet are here, it ruins the whole thing. It just stops your body from being a nice set of knees. The feet under the knees. That's it. Okay. Now, the third cardinal direction of movement is rotation. So now, on the back of the spine, there's a little protuberance. It's called the spinous process. The spinous processes. It's like a little knob on the back of your spine, on the back of each vertebra. So now when you turn like this, so now if the spine is pressing into the chair back, it's those little, it's like a nail coming out of each vertebra. But if you turn like this, now it's the muscle just beside that spinous process. And now if you go like this, it's the muscles beside. So you see, it's the very back of my spine pressing the chair back, but now it's not quite the very back of my spine. It's something more to the right. It's kind of a soft place. Actually, there's the spinous processes and there's the ribs. The ribs are going to come around, but between where the ribs are and the spine, there's this place which is soft because it's filled with muscles. A little kind of a channel. So now, if I go a little off, now it's not the spinous processes, it's those muscles. And now if I go further, now it's the ribs. And now come back a little, and it's the muscles just before the middle. Now it's those bony protuberances on the back of each vertebra. Now it's the muscles on the other side. Now it's the right ribs. Now it's the right muscles. Are you having more fun watching us than doing it? Or are you doing it internally? Yeah. Take a break. You're always welcome to take a break. Okay? Now, when you go to the right, and it's the right ribs, you'll notice that your right shoulder blade touches the chair more. Come back to the middle. And now, oh my God, it's the left shoulder blade touching the chair more. That's right. So if you go this way, it's one shoulder blade, that way it's the other shoulder blade. And if you do it in a funny kind of way, I feel like I'm walking on my shoulder blades. I'm walking, but it's not my legs walking, it's my shoulder blades walking. So when you do that, please walk with your shoulder blades. Walk with your shoulder blades. Okay? And then come back to the middle, and that got me away from the chin. So, and then again, take a break. Okay. This is how to sit. I think my piano teacher, Phil Cohen, who for me was the Feldenkrais of the piano world. He was a very unusual guy. He probably was not the first to say it, but he's told me, you are a verb. You are a verb. You are not a noun. You are not an object. You are movement. And of course, Feldenkrais said, life is movement. Life without movement is unthinkable. So now, we've just experienced sitting in the chair and moving. So now, do that turning side to side, but do it so tiny that you can see, but you hardly see. So do it tiny. And do it inside so that you could surreptitiously even do it while they were playing. Just like, look. It's a little on the left side of my spinous process. It's a little on the right side of my spinous process. Okay? And now, stay with your back on the chair back, but rock the pelvis a little bit. Oh, now it's a higher vertebra touch. And then rock the pelvis backwards, but leave the body up. Oh, now it's a lower vertebra touch. Oh, now it's a higher vertebra touch. Oh, now it's a lower vertebra. And you feel, since the beginning of the lesson, how much more precision you have. And how much more you can actually feel, oh, this one, oh, that, oh, that, oh, that, oh, that, that. Yeah? Okay. This is a special one for flute players. Yeah. Would you please come forward a little bit on the chair and leave the feet underneath. Sort of drop your elbows, but put your hands, so it's not exactly like playing the flute, but just with your elbows dropped and your hands up. Yeah. And now, when you, do this very slowly and very gradually. When you rock the pelvis back, the back is going to get rounder, and the shoulder blades are going to go apart from each other, and the hands are going to cross. And now, when you rock the pelvis forward, the shoulder blades go closer together and the hands separate. Yeah? So rock the pelvis back, body forward, shoulders forward. Rock the pelvis forward, shoulders back, body back. So it's this opening. And so I don't shut down, but I kind of gather myself. I almost hug myself. And the shoulders come forward, the shoulder blades very far apart. And now I open, I rock forward, I open, and I just open my shoulder girdle. Like that. And close the shoulder girdle by rocking the pelvis back. And open the shoulder girdle by rocking the pelvis forward. That's right. And can you imagine? If a flautist had these movable shoulder blades and not a stuck frame when they're holding the flute, it's possible. Okay? Take another break. Take another break. Notice again, are you sitting differently on the chair? Okay. So all this has been for the sitting, but we need to do something about listening. So when the musculature of the body lets go, and this is not just relaxation, the musculature of the body did let go, but it was for a specific reason, to allow certain really well-organized movements to happen, to allow the skeletal levers to better work amongst themselves. But now, if the muscles of the neck let go, that's especially good for listening. Because the muscles of the neck are all around the ears, and when they let go, the ears actually vibrate more freely. So, would you please again take your hands like this, and would you please, so we have four things here. We have the body, the hands, the head, and the eyes. Okay? So, I'm sorry. Is that too many things? Don't worry. The beginning's easy. Move all four of those to the right. Just turn to the right. Yeah. And same thing to the left. That's it. And you notice, do you go one side easier than the other? Yeah. And do you notice that you almost fall over on one side, but you don't fall over on the other side? Yeah? Because sometimes some people are leaning when they go to the turns, but some people are not leaning. So I didn't say anything about learning. It's a clear rotation. It's a clear rotation. Okay? Come back to the middle. Would you please move your body and your hands to the right and your head and eyes to the left. Body and hands left, head and eyes right. And try to make it smooth. You know, in movies, the camera kind of pans across. So it's like a camera panning. And you feel, oh my God, the head is going one way and the arms and shoulders are going the other way, and the eyes are the other way. So get that nice. And notice, do you still put the weight more on one sits bone or one on the other sits bone, or does the weight stay between the two sits bones? How are you doing it? And do you forget to move your head opposite to the hands? That's what most of it, I just forgot for a second. Yeah, okay, come back, take a rest. Already. It's amazing. That was somehow more powerful than all the little variations we did so far. But that's the tip of the iceberg. Now, same position. Okay. Now, we're going to go, so the head and the eyes going right, and the arms go left, and the head and the eyes go left, and the arms and the body goes right. And now, keep your head and arms doing something different. They're going the opposite, but start looking at your hands. Good luck. That's it. Look, and you see, the eyes want to pull the head in the same direction. No, but the eyes are going opposite to the head. The eyes have to stay opposite to the head. The eyes have to stay opposite to the head. And okay, come back. And don't do this one very long, because this is very, very powerful. It makes huge changes in the brain. So you do it a few times, and you stop, and you feel. Now these pauses that we do are very important, because the brain is now digesting what just happened. That was all that virtually none of you have ever done that before. So that's like that's tabula rasa for the brain. The motor cortex is like, oh my God, and it's new neurons are firing. New patterns are being established. But the establishment of those new patterns will change how you do some of your old patterns. Okay? Now, same deal. 2 hands. Now, leave the hands and the body in the middle. Just turn your head and your eyes. And notice, is it different from the first time? Okay, it is different from the first time, because that's not what we did the first time. Okay, now, come back. Turn the head, but don't turn the eyes. So, turn the head, don't turn the body, don't turn the hands, and look at your hands while you're turning your head. That's it. Keep doing that. And try to make it smooth. And go smaller. If it's too big, it's more difficult to make it smooth. You can do micro, just a little bit of the head, but the eyes, looking at the hands. And even small, it creates a huge release in the neck. Okay, come back to the middle, take a break. This is a flute version. Normally this version is done with one hand. In English it's called the dead bird. In French it's called le main fleur, which means the flower hand, which is much nicer. I don't know how the French got a flower hand and we got a dead bird. But anyway, I don't even know what it is in Dutch. But because we have English here, right? We have Inge here, I decided to do with 2. So of course you can either imagine you're a flautist, or you can imagine that you're a puppy dog. Whichever appeals to your sense of self. We're developing the sense of self. A wabbit, there, that's right. Okay, so now be a wabbit, and so move just the hands. Just the hands. Leave the head in the middle. Okay, and now let your eyes go with your hands, but leave the head in the middle. Eyes in with the hands, leave the head in the middle. Eyes with the hands, leave the head. Okay. Yeah. Take a break when you're tired. And this is not physically tired, this is mentally tired. Come back, take a break. Take a break. Yeah, we're almost done. Please take the wabbit, but one more time. Do the very first one. This is all 4. And notice, you go maybe a little farther, but without trying. Don't try harder. Try less. And look how far you go. You see? How many? Now, isn't that interesting? Why didn't you do that the first time? Because it's how the brain works. The brain thought that this is a structural limitation. That I can't go any farther because my skeleton, my body, is not designed. It's my body structure that stops it here. Now we did all these variations, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I go like this, I go like that. It was not the body structure at all, it was the body function. And the function can be improved as we all just experienced. Yeah? Now, they have to play standing up. So, would you please just move your right knee a little bit left and right? And look, can you do that completely smoothly? Or does it go jump, 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 jump? Does it sort of, are there little interruptions? There's little interruptions for most of us. So now try rocking the pelvis somewhere different, maybe a little further back. And maybe use the pelvis in some way to try and get the knee going totally smooth. Like an in-breath and an out-breath. And you'll notice, if I can get my knee going totally smooth, everything in my sitting changes. So to get the knee going smooth, what changes in the play between the two six bones? For instance, come back to the middle. Now try the same thing with the left knee. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, just the left. And feel, what does the body do? What could the body do? There's 100 different things the body can do to make that knee go smoothly. This is from the book. Yeah. So I've gone through a half a dozen different awareness through movement lessons today, and some of them are in the book, which was translated into Dutch. Others of them you'll just get it from the recording. Now do both knees. That's both knees. And feel. Oh, does my body want to do a rotation? Does my body want to do a side bending? Does my body want to go into flexion or into extension? How about both knees more sitting up straight at the side, more rounded in the middle, more sitting up straight at the side, more rounded in the middle, like that. Okay. Play a flute. And so, shoulders back at the side, shoulders front in the middle, shoulders back at the side, shoulders front in the middle, shoulders back at the side and turn them. And shoulders in the middle, forward, shoulders back and turn them at the side. Shoulders forward while you're rounded in the middle. Turn the shoulders, yes, that's it, and come back to the shoulder. And keep doing that and make the head go the other way. Yeah, good luck. And then if you can make the head go the other way, then you make the eyes go with the shoulders and the hands. And only the head going the other way. And of course, if you're not doing it perfectly, don't just do it the way you're doing it. Because I'm not even doing what I told you anymore, but I'm doing something which is really nice. I'm so busy having fun that I'm not even, I'm the teacher, I'm supposed to be looking at you guys. I'm just, oh wow, this is great. Take a break. Pardon me?
You can go salsa dancing.
Yes, of course. That's what all this is really for. Is there a salsa bar? Everybody, we gotta go out afterwards.
There'll be a tango night tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And we
it
do
also
have-
applies to tango.
We do have a dancer in the back.
Oh, we do?
Who probably is appreciating how much this work can help dance, right?
Okay.
What is it? Oh, we have a
Okay,
dancer in the
go.
back. And do you think maybe this might have a little bit of an effect on a dancer? This kind of
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. Good. How do you feel? How are you sitting? Let's get back in the chair the way we're going to listen to the second half of the concert. Imagine that they're starting the first piece and there's a breath. And how does the contact with the chair back change? And can you listen contact with the chair back, even microscopic, change, change. Oh, they did a phrase like this. Oh, they did a phrase like this. Oh, why do we sit like bumps on a log when we listen to music? Music is movement, and we can respond in movement, even if it's microscopically. Questions? Yeah? Impressions? Comments? Complaints?
I have tinsel in my head.
Great.
Wonderful.
Great. There will be many unexpected results of this lesson, like tingling in the hands. Yeah, as to some nervous passageways have been opened up. Sometimes the blood starts circulating better and there's warmth in certain places. Yeah.
And
Also-
maybe you should say something about what will happen when you stand up.
Ah, thank you very much. Yeah, so let's all stand up. Come forward. And notice.
Yeah.
Oh, just notice what's different in each stand. Notice what's different in each stand. Do you feel taller or shorter? There's no one change. Some people feel, oh, I'm open like a ballet dancer. Other people feel like, oh my God, I feel like an orangutan. Because we all started from a different place. You know, if you're like this all the time, you might be not more like this. If you're like this all the time, that's kind of. Is the weight? Do you feel that your feet are touching the ground different? Is your weight more on the toes, or is it more on the heels? Is it more everywhere? Is it more left, more right? Yeah. And now, move the pelvis a little bit back in space so you are more on your heels. That's it. And now go on to the left heel. And now go on to the right heel. And really feel, now which leg feels like, oh yeah, that's a straight leg, that's really holding me up. Which is better at that? The left leg or the right leg? Yeah? And now go on to the left leg and do a little